Dear audience, besides the regular task of maintaining, upgrading, and improving the capacity of providing clean water to consumers during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Tay Ninh Center for Rural Clean Water Supply and Environmental Sanitation also contributed to the prevention and control of the pandemic by increasing the supply of clean water to concentrated isolation areas in some localities, including Phan and Cha commune of Duong Minh Chau district. Regarding the mentioned issue, we would like to introduce the reportage strengthening the supply of clean water during the COVID-19 prevention and control. The Tay Ninh Center for Rural Water Supply and Environmental Sanitation is managing, operating, and exploiting 69 water supply works, of which 68 works are exploiting underground water sources and 1 work exploiting surface water. On these works are located in 41 communes, operating with an average capacity of 11,638 cubic meters per day and night, reaching 93% of the desired capacity, supplying water to more than 20,190 households, reaching 90% of the desired households. Water quality testing is always strictly implemented by the center, especially during the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The center collected samples of treated water to analyze water quality in order to promptly provide remedial solutions to ensure that the quality of treated water meets local technical regulations on clean water used for living purposes. Water supply works are always strictly managed and effectively promoted. The number of households using water is increasing. The collection of water judges ensure minor maintenance and repair to maintain water supply activities. Previously, the clean water supply station in Phan and Cha hamlet, Phan commune, Duong Minh Chau district, always lacked water in the dry season. At that time, the station only had 1 bore well. Up to now, the station has been upgraded twice in 2014 and 2018. Water supply works have been upgraded, repaired, and added many items such as wells, pumping stations, treatment cluster, storage tanks, electronic systems, and expanding the water supply network, etc. Currently, the water supply works have been upgraded, repaired, and completed, operating with a capacity of 254 cubic meters per day, reaching more than 80% of the desired capacity, supplying water to 482 households. In particular, focus on supplying clean water to the isolation areas for the COVID-19 prevention and control at the office of Phước Long 1 hamlet, Phan commune, with a total water volume of 235 cubic meters per month. When the demand in the isolation area increased and the clean water source wasn't enough, the Center for Rural Water Supply and Environmental Sanitation coordinated with the People's Committee of Phan commune to connect and expand the water supply pipes, increasing the volume of clean water supply to densely populated areas, not to let residents in the isolation areas lack water for daily life. The project operates very efficiently, reaching a capacity of 250 cubic meters per day and night, serving 482 households in the commune. The most important thing is that the plumbing system in the concentrated isolation area was designed to be compact, but due to the pandemic, the isolation area was more crowded. The demand for water increased, leading to water shortage. The Clean Water Center must coordinate with the Commune People's Committee to upgrade the pipes to be sufficient for the isolation area, contributing to decreased prevention and control. People often think that it will be better to open the valve with water. Comparing clean water with well water, clean water isn't a lump. It doesn't make utensils yellow like using well water. The price is also reasonable. Làng hamlet Cha commune, a neighboring area, also had an area experiencing social distancing. Over 10 years ago, this area was invested to build one clean water supply station. It has been operating stably so far, regularly supplying clean water for 160 households. During the outbreak of COVID-19, the water supply station was always directed by the Center for Rural Water Supply and Environmental Sanitation, strictly followed the pandemic prevention measures and completed its professional task, ensuring adequate supply of clean water in accordance with the standards and demand for customers in densely populated areas. The disease situation is complicated. Located in the blockade area, Lang Hamlet Station also tries to operate and supply enough water to serve the people in the hamlet. The water supply station was built more than 10 years ago. Now it's still operating well, but we ask the superior to consider supporting and upgrading more water supply systems to households that haven't been used to achieve efficiency. In addition to upgrading water supply stations in some rural areas, in the coming time, Tay Ninh Center for Rural Water Supply and Environmental Sanitation will also upgrade the three-phase power system at water supply works in the districts of Bến Cầu, Tân Biên, and Duong Minh Chau in order to increase the design capacity, increase the water supply capacity for rural areas. Facing the COVID-19 pandemic, the Center always seriously implements epidemic prevention and control measures while performing its professional duties. Accordingly, the Center has implemented epidemic prevention and control measures to its officials and employees working at the agency's headquarters, and those who are managing and operating the centralized water supply project. Officials and employees working at the unit always strictly implement the 5K measures. Those who are managing and operating at the centralized water supply works are given priority in disease prevention and control measures, specifically administering vaccination against COVID-19, provided with personal protective equipment for water supply. The Clean Water Center had paid special attention to handling water supply problems at concentrated water supply works during the period of social distancing. In case of an incident in the blockade area, it would be quickly resolved and corrected as quickly as possible so that there was no interruption of water supply in the isolated area. Facing the complicated situation of the pandemic, the Center has proactively implemented epidemic prevention and control measures for those who are managing and operating water supply works to ensure the supply of clean water to the people. We've timely planned to handle in case of an incident so that the water supply isn't interrupted and the water quality is also ensured in accordance with the regulations required by the Ministry of Health. It should be recognized that the current situation of rural clean water supply in Tay Ninh province also has some problems, such as the capacity of some water supply stations is low. The amount of water supplied is small and scattered, not covering all districts, etc., which the functional sector is gradually overcoming. Accordingly, the sector will orient to investing water supply works with concentrated scale, inter-commune, inter-district, and with large capacity, in which water supply works will be oriented to invest and develop according to the 5-year medium-term public investment plan, period 2021-2025. 14 water supply works with a cost of about 60 billion Vietnam dong will be invested. The sector is also promoting projects on sustainable rural water and sanitation and adaptation to climate change in the whole province. Dear audience, the program today now comes to an end. Thanks for watching and see you next time.